welcome to Rachel's Rambles. I think there's quite a few of you here now, which is an incredible surprise, and I'm really quite surprised and humbled that so many people have subscribed, and I think you've all come from the P&O Iona video that I added recently. So I thought, let's grab a cup of tea and I'll chat through some additional things about Iona that maybe weren't included in the first video, and also some of the comments that I've had on the video I posted a couple of months ago, which were all really lovely, and the majority of you are really excited about your own holidays, so thank you if you've liked or commented. It really does mean a lot. I did have some questions in the comments, so I thought what we'd do is we'll just have a look at some of those, and I can share some of your insights as well as mine. So press pause, grab yourself a cuppa and sit down, and we'll run through a few things, and hopefully it will be really helpful to you if you're planning your own holiday. So it's worth saying it's been over a year since we went on Iona. So we went in June 2024. It's now June 2025, so obviously so many people have been since then and probably had loads of different experiences and have got loads of other things that they can share, so please feel free to comment if you've been on and you've got some useful insights that other people might find helpful. So one of the comments I received, which I think is a really valid point, is the location of a couple of the speciality restaurants, namely the Keel & Cow and the Glass House. These are, well, the Keel & Cow, we didn't go to the Glass House. The Keel & Cow is on one of the decks above the atrium, and it's in quite an open space, because it's in the centre of the ship. It's a lot of people walking through. Now we went there and it didn't bother us because actually we ate quite early on celebration night, so I think while we were there were lots of people getting their glad rags on and getting ready to go out, so it didn't feel that busy. But I think it's a really valid point that this person raised, because you do have to pay an additional charge for the Keel & Cow, and actually if you've got people passing through all the time it might not be as enjoyable for you as what it was for us. That said, there are a few little nooks and crannies and screens up, so they do try to make it more of a private space, but it's just something to bear in mind if you're spending additional money on the speciality restaurant, whether or not that's the right area for you. So another question I had was with regards to our cabin on deck 5, where it was located. It was directly below the cinemas. There's 4 cinemas on Iona, or 4 cinema screens, and we were directly underneath them. And this person asked whether or not we had any noise from the cinema above. Absolutely none whatsoever. We were in cabin 5549 and it was brilliant. We loved it. It was midship, low down, we had a great balcony, amazing views, it was really quiet. We had nothing from the cinemas above, so no worries on that front. Somebody else asked me whether we considered using Fred Olsen or Norwegian ferries, Norwegian Cruise Line for the cruise, and actually I didn't. I think I'd heard so many good things about Iona that I was determined that was the one we were going on. My partner Rob probably did loads of research about other ones to go on, but I really wanted to go on Iona, so I might have been a bit of a bully and made sure I got my own way, but totally worth it. It's really good. Somebody else asked a question that really resonated with me because I do struggle with anxiety, and somebody asked about whether or not I felt overwhelmed, because they have anxiety about feeling overwhelmed when they're at sea and there's no way of escape. Was there somewhere where they could just be? And I think yes. It's a big ship. There's a lot of people. There's usually between 5,000 and 6,000 people on there, and there probably are areas that could feel overwhelming. But on the flip side of that, there's plenty of areas where you can go that are just quiet. There were still places that we hadn't even explored by the end of the holiday, so I'm sure there are some quiet spots. You know, off the top of my head, there's Anderson's Bar and Library. They were really peaceful. You've obviously got your own room. We had a balcony as well, which was just lovely. there's plenty of spots that are quieter, and obviously during the day when a lot of people are off the ship exploring and enjoying shore excursions, the ship is really quiet then. For my other points, I am a member of several P&O Facebook groups, and I thought I'll have a quick scroll through to see if I can answer some of the most commonly asked questions in those groups. So I've picked out ones that I feel confident in answering and giving you my opinion. The first thing that occurred to me was a lot of questions about dress code. What's acceptable, what can we wear, what about celebration night, where can we go if we don't want to dress up. And the first thing I wanted to say was that the dress code is, well, it's really relaxed. Just dress as you would normally. The only exception is celebration night, which is usually the Sunday. If you're going to the fjords, it's usually the Sunday of the cruise, so your first sea day. And people do tend to get dressed up, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You just need to bear in mind that there will be some places that do impose a dress code on that night. So some of the specialty restaurants, the Limelight Club, places like that, you won't be able to go in if you're dressed more casually. But if you don't want to get dressed up, you can just hang out in some of the other places. There's plenty of places you can go. Another question that I've seen quite a bit on Facebook is people asking what MDR stands for. MDR stands for main dining rooms. So these are the restaurants like Coral, Pearl and Opal, for example. So I saw a question with somebody asking what was Horizon. So there are actually two Horizons when it comes to Iona. The first one is, it's the name of the little newsletter that gets posted to your cabin every day, which lets you know what's happening right across the ship. The second Horizon is the name of the buffet on one of the top decks. There are also a lot of questions about the My Holiday app and people wanting to download it before they go. How does it work? I think the first thing to say is I think it's been a little bit lost in translation, but the My Holiday app isn't an app. It's a website that's only accessible once you're on board. You don't need the Wi-Fi package to be able to access it, but from the My Holiday, it's more like a website, so I'm going to call it My Holiday website. From there, you can book everything you need to. You can book your additional dining, you can book your spaces in the main dining rooms, you can book for shows, you can do everything on that website. And there's plenty of people to help you once you get on as well. They've got a brilliant guest services area, so if you get stuck, just pop there and they'll help you out with it. Lots of people mention as well the price of the P&O excursions, and I think I did mention this in my main video. You don't have to book the onshore excursions through P&O, you can do it independently, but definitely have a look because the price difference can be quite substantial, so it might be worth having a look at those. Alden Adventures is one of the companies that is mentioned a lot, so they might be worth having a look at and see if you can save a little bit of money that way. I'm going to sign off as well with a really important question. So, we love tea. What type of tea is on board Iona? It's Tetley. Now for me, it's not my favourite. I'm a Yorkshire tea kind of girl, but they do have tea on board. And I think ultimately, that's all we really need to know. So, I hope that's been helpful, a little secondary video about Iona, and as always, when I get a new subscriber, I promise I do a little happy dance. I won't ever do it on camera, but I do a little happy dance, so if you'd like to subscribe, I'd be really, really grateful. And you can follow other adventures that we might have. We have booked another cruise on Iona, again to the Norwegian fjords next year, so maybe there'll be another third video coming. Watch this space. Thanks for watching.